Good evening, people. Welcome back to the channel. We are the South Stand MCFC, and today, as you can see, we are smiling. It has been a tough week from Brentford to Ipswich to Paris to the Etihad Stadium. Today's game against Chelsea, Manchester City 3, Chelsea 1. Just walking out the Etihad Stadium, seeing the fans coming towards me, laughing, joking, smiling, and going home on a Saturday night with something to cheer about. We're going to get into it. Me and Daps, we're going to be joined by a couple of lads as well. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in. I've just got to say the response to the new channel has been unbelievable. And we are trying to get the reactions out after the game, after we've come back from the match, you know what I mean? Some of us are attending games regular, so we've literally got to get in the car, get back, you know what I mean, rush in the house, bite to eat, and get this reaction out. So I hope you appreciate that. But yes, Daps, I'd like to say it was all plain sailing. It didn't start well, but 3-1 Chelsea, great result and great performance.
Yeah, do you know, it didn't start well, did it? It started the worst it could. But the second half was, do you know what? I was happy with the performance, happy with the second half in particular. And do you know what? Things just look different today. Like, it does look like, we'll talk on Husinov a bit, but Marmoush just looks like he's almost brought a lease to life to it. And also, I don't know if you noticed, right, but we seem more happy to go long.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of our biggest strengths, to be honest. We've got the best number 9 in the world, in my opinion. He gets manhandled and wrestled 90% of games. Sometimes when he's not involved, just put him in a straight sprint race with the centre-back, or put it on the 2 centre-backs, let him have a goal. Because something that they didn't want today was Erling Haaland. They didn't want to wrestle him either. Colwell and Chalobah didn't fancy that. They were happy with the ball in midfield, just keep it away from Haaland. And full credit to City. I mean, we didn't panic and try and, you know, pass it out the back unneedlessly. We let Ederson decide sometimes what he wanted to do. But first of all, I've got to just say, the first 5 minutes, Kuznetsov debut, he makes a mistake. He makes a terrible mistake. He causes a goal. Then he panics again after that mistake, gets himself booked. So in the first 6 or 7 minutes, he's cost us a goal and he's booked. After that, the kid's head went a little bit. It did. But what I've got to mention, and I've got to say this now, a special mention to Bernardo Silva. Because if you watch that first 10 minutes, 15 minutes after that goal was given away, Kuznetsov didn't want the ball. Bernardo Silva then
just to tell you that the TV picked up on the fact he didn't want the ball.
Yeah, well, you could tell. But Bernardo Silva dropped into the back four and basically took the ball from Ederson and from Akanji and said, look, let him have a breather. Give me the ball. Let's keep playing. Let him get his head together. Give him 10 minutes to calm down. It's a bit too much for him. And Bernardo Silva deserves some fucking credit for that, because not a lot of people would have done that. People would have let him drown. Bernardo dropped in there and went, look, it's gone. I seen Ederson go over and say, head up, head up. You know what I mean? And listen, they played well today.
Yeah.
And Pep did a masterclass.
Just quickly, people, if you're in here, there's nearly 200 of you in here. Make sure the first thing you do is hit that like button. If you hit that like button, it's going to push us out to more City fans, get more over to the channel. Steve, so you know, I don't know if you've seen online, but relevant to what you said there about Bernardo, Sky, the way the British media do, you know what the British media are like. They were crucifying Husinov. They were really, you know, kept repeatedly saying all the mistakes he'd made and really trying to pinpoint him. And it's good because we didn't get to see this from Bernardo Silva. We didn't get to see none of that at all. And also, I think it doesn't help that we were playing with pretty much Gvardiol and Nunes were playing like wing-backs, right? So we were playing Akanji and Husinov as a back two. And also something you probably didn't see is when they scored their first goal, Cole Palmer, as they were celebrating, pulled Jackson to one side and said to him, "You need to get on him now about Husanov." So we didn't get to see that. So this is where you being at the game and getting to see that.
Honestly, Bernardo just dropped deep, and all the attacks, because Akanji was looking to pass to Kusanov, but he was a bit deeper, and then he's thinking, nah, and we were coming the other side. So Chelsea knew where we was coming. As soon as Bernardo dropped in, we could spray it about a bit. But what you said before about Gvardiol and Nunes, he was right. Marmoush and Foden were told to tuck inside into the midfield.
Exactly.
So Gvardiol was the one overlapping. And Josko Gvardiol should have had a hat-trick, to be fair. He was
playing at one point. He was playing like a striker. We've got a friend with us. Another guy that was at the game, our good friend Mancunian Way's very own Martin. What are you saying, bro? You good?
Yo, how are you, mate?
Boys, how we doing?
Smiling? You smiling?
Yeah.
Still in the
I'm
car
always
park.
smiling. I'm always. Well, I do apologise. I'm in the car. I got stuck in the blue car park for 95 minutes coming out.
Wow.
Not even. Then I've had to deal with my parents.
We've got no fans.
Yeah, I've got no. I don't. Listen. If I could do an hour just on the car park situation itself. Never mind the game. But no,
Martin, we were just talking about the game, obviously, and Kuzanov's first 5 minutes, and I was saying if people might not have noticed it on the TV, but Bernardo Silva dropped very deep into the back four and started to get the ball and missing him out to give him a breather, and I thought that was good from Bernardo Silva to do that. Because a kid, you could destroy a kid in 10 minutes with what happened in the first 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that was Bernardo's best performance of the season.
Yeah.
And listen, I've given him some shit this year, I really have. But I've got it. I don't know if it was the captain's armband. I don't know what it was, but the guy looks back to his, Bernardo was 2 years ago. I thought he's really up for this. I've got to give it the crowd today. That's exactly what we've all been calling for.
Yeah.
The crowd today. I think they helped Usher off as well, because no one had a go in. No one sort of went down at him. There was that little bit of, "Oh, what if we signed here?" When you get that moment of, "Oh," and then afterwards, everyone was like, "Come on!" They were clapping him.
We spoke about this the other night. We can't the problem is, if you are an attacking player, midfielder, attacker, forward, you get time to land. Mistakes, if you are forward, don't get spoke about because it doesn't lead to a goal, really. As a defender and a goalkeeper, and look, Mangala had the best debut, I think we remember, against Chelsea, right? But then look what happened. Look, we know this with Kusanov. I was worried more about the yellow card, because from what I've seen of him, the guy likes a card or two. So when he was on one yellow card, and I think it was good that Pep allowed him to come out for the second half, because if it was just a straight half time, it would have been head down, and everything about the way it was handled, from the fans to Gundogan was quite good, kept going over and kind of calming him down a bit. But even Pep, when he came off the pitch, because look, the guy can't speak a word of any other language but his own language. And it's hard for him to take. But look, welcome to the Premier League. I do also think it's worth saying, after the first 15, 20 minutes, he grew into the game. And actually, if you switch back to before that, I'm pretty certain we had a break in the opening 5 minutes, and I'm pretty certain it was a Marmoush forward ball that kicked all that off as well. So look, we don't need to worry about him. He's been christened to the Premier League. But the other one I think we do need to talk about is Marmoush. You two were at the game. What did you see of him?
I thought he did all right. I thought he was probably a little bit confused with Pep's play tucked in style. I think he'd probably prefer to be out wide, where he's got a little bit of space and he can attack the fullback. But I think he did a job okay. And we've seen glimpses of him where he did get the ball, push it in the gap, run. And he was arriving at the back post. He had the goal disallowed. He was offside. And then obviously in the second half, him and Haaland, that link-up play where Haaland flicked it into him and he had the shot. So I think overall it was a promising debut. And we've got to remember, these are players coming from different leagues, different standards, different fitness levels. And we all know that Pep Guardiola demands different things. So when he's probably been named in the squad today, he's probably dreamed about last night being on the wing and roasting a few players and having a great debut. And then Pep's been like, listen, You need to get tucked inside. Gvardiol's going to go on the outside of you. That you're going to have 2 men on you all game. You've got to keep the ball moving. Nothing stupid. Don't lose the ball. And I think he had a solid debut. And I think we can see that there's big things to come from him.
Yeah, just to say, Steve, from watching it at home, it was, for me, it was more than a solid debut. I'm not going to lie. It was excitement every time he got the ball. And I think the more we see it, look, he's going to get goals. He's going to get assists. He's coming from a league where he's got more GA this season than Harry Kane, right? He's not here to muck about. And I think we've got ahead of the curve. I think if anyone would have left it till the summer, we would have been paying a lot more and there would have been a lot of clubs in for him. But also it's all of a sudden, it's a thought in the rest of, in the other team's mind. You know, usually we just have Haaland, right? So they can put 2-3 men on Haaland. And that's, I think, helped other teams to counter on us and throw a few more people further forward. Whereas all of a sudden now, in the first half, Marmoush, admittedly, he got caught offside once or twice, but he got in behind them several times, which meant all of a sudden in the second half, clearly Maresca had said at half time, we can't be pressing high. We can't, because if we press these lot high, they're just pinging balls over the top for fun. And I honestly believe, we thought at times Alvarez and Haaland was going to be a serious partnership. I have a feeling this is going to be a lot more long term. It's going to be on the job. So yeah, man, I was happy with him.
Well, I'll tell you what I did in the first 10 minutes, and you'd all laugh at this. I actually turned to my son in the first 10 minutes, and I went, "We've signed Darren Huckabee," and my son looked at me and he went, "What do you mean?" And I went, "He's offside as much as Darren Huckabee was."
Yeah, he was offside.
You know, in the first, and I just thought, was that one? You know, when he got through and Sanchez did that save down at your end?
Yeah.
Was he saved or something? And then he was like, we obviously didn't know he was offside, so we thought, oh, why is it not a corner? And at the time, I thought, but he grew into the game. And what I loved about it today was we're playing, and we've done this sort of. I think we did it at Ipswich as well with Doku. We've stopped playing the ball sideways to the wide men or to the fast people now. And what we're doing is we're playing the ball in front of them. And we're saying, there's your pace, go.
Yeah.
Use it. Use exactly what we were doing. We did it with Josko. But Gvardiol was outstanding today.
Unbelievable.
But he was outstanding and he's had a lot of stick. But I think it helps because you had Medwick and Gvardiol who didn't want to take any notice of each other. They were just playing their own game. And I think it helped Gvardiol. It helped Medwick. I thought Medwick was the only Chelsea threat. I'll be honest, I thought he was the only guy who was going to pose us any kind of problem. But I thought Marmoush was composed. The link-up play with Haaland, you think they've been playing together 10, 20 games.
Do you know what? I got this feeling today that we're going to see Haaland get slightly more. People always go on about the number of touches and how involved in the game Haaland is. I feel like we're going to see Haaland more involved. Someone in the comments said earlier, a Sancho and Haaland type link up. I hear what you're saying because that link up was very, very good. But I don't know. I just saw a different Steve. Remember in Bratislava when we watched Haaland's body language, when the ball was sometimes getting Savio and Doku, and Haaland just looked like, I'm not going to make runs because they ain't looking up. They don't know where I am. We've got to remember, this is Mamoush's first game with Haaland, and it already seems like they kind of are on a similar wavelength. Obviously, the other one, that one pass more and we would have seen an absolutely beautiful goal, was Haaland, Marmoush, and then Marmoush ended up taking the shot. If he would have seen the run Foden was making, then that would have been another one. But very good signs with that. Also, I just want to say Stones, when he came on,
he calmed it down for me, Stones, when he come on. I've got to mention Nunes as well at right back. I mean, the other night in Paris, he got a lot of stick. I thought today that he's definitely not a right back, but he grew into it a little bit more. He's getting a little bit more confident on the ball. He still has that little bit of a bozo moment where when he gets a bit high up the pitch, something crazy happens. But the first goal, his run, you know what I mean, and the shot for Gvardiol to tap it in, is all down to Nunes. But I just feel like today it was a complete performance where we started off slow. We got a kick in the teeth. We came back into the game slowly. We got the equaliser. We got our noses in front. We killed off the game, and we defended well near the end and seen the game out. They're things that haven't been happening for us at the minute. We either go a goal in front and then we concede. We either go a goal behind and then lose, or we go 2 goals in front, 3 goals in front, and the last 10 minutes is like the wild fucking West. We're all sat there in the stand thinking, what's going on? So today, to see us control the performance, put our foot on the ball, play it around a bit, take the sting out of Chelsea, know when to go long, know when not to go long. That game management that we've been lacking seemed to be there. Plus, it's good to have now we've got options. Savinho didn't play. Doku's injured. De Bruyne was rested, came on late. We didn't have to throw John Stones in early doors. We didn't panic. We brought him on later on in the game. These things over the course of a season make a massive difference, and the things that we haven't had the luxury of. You know what I mean?
I think
we've not had them at all. We've not had any of them options. Today's the first time I looked at that bench and I thought, we've got options. Like Steve said, you had Stones come on, calmed it down. Thought KDB came on, calmed it down. Let us keep the ball a lot more.
KDB's brilliant. Do you know what? KDB, you see it with seeing out the game. KDB really does know how to see out the game. Do you know what? Steve, what you said there is spot on. I think if you look at the overall game, firstly, going 1-0 down, the funny thing is, if I think about when we were going 1-0 down, it's the start of the season and we were actually coming back and winning games, right? But then often we've gone 1-0 up and then conceded. But it was when we got the second, I was so nervous. I'm not going to lie, I was really nervous at that point. But it was getting that third, and it was the way that third came. The nerves were natural within me. I don't actually think at any point in that second half we were worried about Chelsea. And it's mad. It's mad because we've got to talk on Cole Palmer, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've been told. Bro, look, I'm not gonna shit on Cole Palmer. I love Cole Palmer. I wanted Cole Palmer to stay, but we've been told as a fan base that we're letting all these players go out, and the 3 big ones that have gone to Chelsea, right? Sancho is non-existent today, and I'm sorry, but Sancho started off well when he first got to Chelsea. He's been dross for them. Lavia has probably played 5-10 games all season, and Cole Palmer's Cole Palmer, but ultimately Cole Palmer can't carry Chelsea by himself, and it does kind of seem like that is the way it is. Did Tosin start today for them? Not, or was it Cole? It was Colwell.
No, it was on
Colwell,
bench.
yeah. But also, so you know, I think people were very easy to criticise our selling, but actually, in hindsight, you know, we're above Chelsea now. So I don't know if we've come under too much fire by people being far too reactionary, because Cole Palmer, when the going gets tough, is he going to step up? And at the moment, he isn't. He isn't. So
Chelsea, the midfield players, Caicedo and Fernandes, for the money they paid for them two. If Manchester City had a midfield of them two and they wasn't delivering, it'd be out every newspaper. Looking at them today, they were sloppy. Ilkay Gundogan and a Kovacic, who people have criticised for having no legs. Well, they got in and about them. We've beat them twice this season, at Stamford Bridge and at the Etihad. So they're enforcers in midfield that were supposed to dominate. They didn't dominate. Don't get me wrong. Madueke's lively. Jackson, you know, he does a lot of running and that, but he's for me, his finishing is not the best. And Cole Palmer's dangerous, but I just feel like it's night and day. The performance in Paris the other night that we had to stand and watch after going 2-0 up compared to the performance today was different. But we're not going to get carried away. It's good to go on a Saturday night and with a victory. But there is some great positive signs to take out of it. It just felt decent. We've got a massive game coming up on Wednesday night. We've put ourselves in a position where we've got to win a fucking game to qualify for the Champions League, which usually we're sailing through these groups. So we've got to bounce back on Wednesday night. We can't be doing what City have been doing this season. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We've got to go and build on this and go and put it right on 100%. Wednesday again.
100%. Sorry, can I just say really, really quick? You mentioned Caicedo then. And do you know what the mad thing is that I didn't notice Caicedo the whole game. And it's mad because if you're looking at our midfield and you're thinking Caicedo, because at points this season I've said, fuck me, we could do with Caicedo, the legs in midfield. This is where actually I think before the game, when the lineup came out, there were some people saying De Bruyne should have started over Bernardo, right? We have to remember Kevin De Bruyne's age. If he isn't starting, it's not because he doesn't deserve to start. There will be a reason behind it. We saw in Paris, he was tired. And I actually think, do you know what? Today, Bernardo and Gundogan were actually, Gundogan we haven't really mentioned, were both very good in the middle of the park to handle a lot younger, more energetic midfield, to the point where I actually didn't notice Caicedo or Enzo at all in the whole game.
No.
And cover as well, Steve. Yeah, and
yeah.
cover.
Could you imagine if we had Caicedo, 100 odd million? Enzo, how much was he? And people talking about
I think Caicedo was 120, Enzo was 100, I think it was something like that.
Right, so you're talking 230 there. And then to me, that was City, like Steve said, it'd be everywhere. Yeah, it'd be every single back page, front page, side page. But to me, it was, I was a bit surprised by Chelsea a little bit. But I thought City were very clever with what they did. I'm starting to like this, because the thing we know, our midfield is not great. It's not perfect. It's been our Achilles heel. So I think what Pep did today was pass the ball around a little bit more, draw Chelsea out.
Yeah.
Because I thought this is where Maresca was a bit naive a little bit. He sort of played into our hands. We basically forced them to come out, and we were dinking balls over the top.
Yeah. But it was
that's where I think Marmoush came in with it. Yeah. Haaland was holding it up superbly. And I said to me,
we folded him and Marmoush took him into the midfield. We had a midfield there. Sometimes it was a 5. So they were like, what's going on here? There's no space in the midfield to do anything. And we were just ratting around. And it makes a change because this season we've been cut open by 2 or 3 passes. Yeah. Today, we looked a lot more stronger, like you say. And Bernardo Silva deserves that special mention. Yeah. A, for what he did with Cousinov, dropping into the back 4, taking the pressure off him. Give me the ball, I'll keep it moving. And then B, he was all over the place. He
and that's what Steve.
But Bernardo Silva's been flogged for 3 seasons, week in, week out. Right back, left back, centre mid, right wing, left wing, wherever he's been asked to play, he's played. Last couple of weeks, he's had a breather. Took him out the team a little bit. So this game, he probably thought, you know what, we've got a fresh Bernardo Silva. He's probably been chomping it a bit in training, and he's put him in, and he's proved it. But, it's just a level of performance. Us City fans, we'll back this team to the death.
Yeah.
Right? And if we get beat by a better side or we get tactically outfought, we'll take it on the chin because that's what we do, and we talk about it. And the level of performances this season have not been good enough.
Spot on.
Today, the whole complete package of the performance, from taking a knock early doors to seeing out the game at the end and making sure we didn't have a 10 minute by letting them score, and then it becomes 3-2 and we're all shitting ourselves. The game management side of it today was what pleased me the most.
Yeah. Sorry. So can I just say, shout out to Riku. He's right. We are on 1,977 subs. Can we get it to 2,000 by the end of the show? That would be, look, in about 10 days, it would be unbelievable. The support's been mad. Steve, do you know what? You're spot on. I remember we were talking about this in Paris, how all of a sudden it looks like we can start to rotate a little bit. And that's what we must do at the moment with our midfield. People mention the age of De Bruyne and the age of Gundogan. Kovacic and Bernardo Silva are in their 30s, right?
Yeah.
And we have to understand that we can't rely on them. We can't play all 4. And I think you're spot on with that about Bernardo, that we know where our team is. We know Gundo, prime Bernardo Silva, prime De Bruyne were technically amazing, could run down the wing, could cut in, all of that. Right now, all we want is them to just put in a shift, right? Let the rest do that. Let Foden, Haaland, the others do that. Just Bernardo, what you did, I remember Bernardo against Liverpool one time, Bernardo and Fernandinho, just running their socks off for the club. We get that, we're happy. Put a shift in for the club. That's all we want to see. Haaland, I think we need to talk on Haaland as well. That finish for the goal.
Superb. Listen,
I was right in front of me. I was right in front of me. As soon as that ball come over the top, he does the defender and that just finish over Sanchez. And Sanchez knew because he turned and he was like,
He started running back, didn't he? He started running back.
Yeah. He started running back and then stopped and went, and he just knew he wanted the ground to swallow him up. But that had been coming with Sanchez. I didn't understand the goal kicks they were doing because I'm one of them. Yeah, if you keep doing something over and over again, it's not working. Why keep doing it?
Yeah,
because it was clear he couldn't kick. So that's why they were doing that shot. Yeah,
he thought he was going to get the ball, Sanchez, and then he realised how fast Haaland was and thought, "Shit, I'm in no man's land here. I need to get back." And you got to give credit to Erling Haaland because sometimes he gets criticised because he does miss some chances, but. I mean, that was a great goal. And at the end of the game, I don't know if you see it, we always stay behind in the south stand now just to give him a bit more of a clap off. And he come all the way around and the smile on his face and how happy he looked. He even had his headband out, so his beautiful blonde locks were flowing all over the place.
Boy, reminiscent of that Arsenal game.
That's what I'm saying. So to see a smile on his face, because the last few weeks I've seen him in certain games fuming. So it was good.
I think it's playing and knowing I'm going to get the ball. We're going to bring someone else in. Just to say on that real quick. In fact, no, I'll bring him in first. Another South Stander. Get used to this face because he's going to be on the channel a lot. Our good friend Mason. What are you saying, bro?
Tottenham boys.
Good.
Mason. Hey, mate. You all right, pal?
Yeah. Yeah, how you doing?
What did you think, Mason, today? What did you think? We just said about the shaky 5 minutes at the beginning, but I think the game management to go and put them to bed and not concede late on and not panic and all that, I think it was brilliant today.
Yeah, first 5 minutes, I was getting grief off a few of the boys on the other group chats, and you can imagine who they are, about the new lad. I think it's harsh, the stuff that I've seen a few people saying about him, because, you throw a 20-year-old from another league into this team where it's not even to that point, mate. You've got big names, big names that look at times in games look a bit lost. So when that happened to him, and you've got someone who's a makeshift wing back defender, whatever we're going to call Nunes at the minute, sort of stood next to him, it was a bit. I'll be honest, I panicked a bit. I said to the lad next to me, I said, can see him getting sent off here.
Yeah.
When that yellow card got given, and after that, I thought if he makes it this second half, I'll be a bit surprised. But then
I think Pep did that. I was saying earlier, I think Pep kept him on because to bring him off at half time would probably
confidence would have gone.
Yeah, to allow him to go out and then go, all right, cool. We do this every week. We bring someone off and it's all of a sudden, it's just you're tired, you're on a yellow, so you take it off. So, yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I think, listen, after the when the second half come and Pep does his things where, he's having chats with them in the dressing room, I think we look better. There was parts where you can still see, and whether I'm wrong here in this transfer window, that they've still not got a midfielder, because when that ball gets anywhere deeper than, let's say, where that Rodri position sort of used to be, we look scared, we look lost. It worries me, but I think today the attacking ability that we had was just too much in the end. Quick one as well. I know I messaged you lads about before. That Marmoush, mate, he's your type of
bro. He's your type of player. I can tell.
He's going to be something different. The way you could see it, you could see the slight runs. Like I was saying, lad next to me, he was stood on the defender waiting, and every time it was normally a Kanja or occasionally Nunes would get the ball far out, and you'd think just put it over the top to him, let him run, because Reece James.
He had Reece James on toast today.
Reece James must have looked at him and thought, fuck me, I've got to deal with him for another God knows how long. But I think we look better, and I caught you boys talking about Haaland a minute ago and what he done. That's prime typical Haaland, that from a few seasons back at Dortmund, when he's got people running around throwing defenders off and just...
Do you know what it is as well? It's something that, because the amount of times you see players see a keeper off their line and them try it and nowhere near. closer to the corner flag.
Yeah.
And but what I really liked today, and I'm going to talk another point with Haaland, is before Haaland took the shot, he did look up. He had a quick scan to see if there was anyone in a better position. And we've seen that a few times over the last couple of weeks from Haaland. Then he thought, nope, no problem. I'll take this on. Perfect. But also, we have to talk on Haaland for the Foden goal, because someone in Paris was telling me Harden's really bad at holding defenders off, right? Holding the ball up. The way he held the ball up, waited and timed the pass to Foden with absolute perfection. No rivals will ever speak on that, right? That was perfect from Haaland. And I don't know, I just feel like Haaland, I already said it just on Never a Foul. I think Haaland gets Golden Boot this season.
He's going to get it.
He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Yeah, I think Haaland today, and I just think Marmoush is going to bring the best out of him. Do we need, I think one thing, you three were all there. I wasn't, but it gave me goosebumps. The Tony Book tribute.
Oh, I tell you what,
and it gave me goosebumps. I had hairs on my legs standing up. What was it like on the ground?
It was amazing. I don't know whether it was the
random Chinese singer stood in the middle of the pitch before that,
Yeah.
singing Blue Moon, which I don't know what the fuck that was about. Because
I was going to ask if you knew about that, because I didn't know that was going on. But where's that come from? You did the light show. They did this, the light show that, as you know, Daps, that I love so much, because I love the light shows. I love all that, But they got him in the middle, and honestly, I've never teared up, but that even got me choked up a little bit, because it was special the way they did it. So it was also having the legends on the side of the pitch as well.
Yeah. We used to do that far more often as well. We used to do that a lot more. Sorry, just to confirm something there. So you said there was a random Chinese person that sung.
She sounded Chinese to me. I don't know if she was Chinese, but I was watching and she was stood in the middle of the pitch on a Blue Moon before all the tribute.
Right,
just singing Blue Moon, and it was a weird version of Blue Moon come down, and then people around me were going, what the fuck's going on? I was like, I ain't got a clue. And then they did the Tony Book thing and that.
And they did
Blue
Moon again then.
Yeah, they sort of played some mad churchy sort of music. I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what I saw of the tribute was a really slow version of Blue Moon.
Yeah, but that was a woman singing it in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah,
well,
it was like
a hymn. At home, that was like proper, like emotional. Like maybe there it didn't sound quite right, but at home, the whole thing, from the banner to the players being there. And it's good that we remember to do that. It is very good that we remember to do that, because, Book, we spoke about this before.
Tony Book was Mr. Manchester City, man. He was when I was a kid, seeing him around the first team. We used to wait at the bottom of the main stand at Main Road for autographs. Tony Book would be warming the players up. He'd always sign his autograph. And if anyone's ever got Tony Book's autograph, it's that joined up right in Tony Book, all you know what I mean? He's immaculate, the autograph. But what a player, I mean. And to see him the other week come out on the pitch for his 90th birthday or 92nd birthday and that. And then it was a bit of a sad moment. I sort of had a lump in my throat thinking, all these guys used to look up to as a kid when he was at Main Road, they're all passing away. You start to realise how old you actually are, or actually how old I'm getting. And like you say, the club are always quite good at doing stuff like that, to be fair.
I did that today, because when they're panning across, and they obviously had Edgell there, and Ian Brightwell, and I'm like, I used to watch them, and I was a teenager. I'm like, how old am I now? Because and it doesn't really hit you, but they were doing some Chinese stuff at half time as well, with dragons and all sorts.
Chinese New Year.
Is it Chinese New Year?
Is that what it was about?
Yeah, it must be Chinese New Year. Probably Chinese New Year.
Yeah, it was definitely emotional. But they turned the lights out as well, Daps.
Everything about it. Everything about it from the way it was at home. It looked. I don't like the light shows. They're better than Brentford's. Probably not better than PSG's. PSG's light show the other week was in midweek was, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty mint. But yeah, today it wasn't a light show; it was a tribute, and I thought it was well done. And it's important because that is our heritage. The Tony Book was our captain in our best period before this period. So it's important that other people remember that. So on from here. It's important we got that win today because we all know our schedule. And when you look at our schedule, it's mad until I think early April. I think we've got Forest away and United away up until early April. We've got Arsenal at home, Tottenham away, Newcastle at home.
Yeah.
I think we might even have Villa in there as well. It's mad. And I think it was very important against a team that I felt was beatable at home in their recent form. We got the 3 points. Now what? What are we saying?
In regards to what?
Well, Bruges, for me, we win Bruges. But if we beat Bruges and we beat Bruges well, next weekend we've got Arsenal.
Just one game at a time for me. You've got to go there and put a shift in. We've been there last few years. We've won there well, and then we obviously got beat there. We just need top 4. The league is forget it. It's gone. We know that. But we just got to get the level of performances up and start trying to salvage something of this season. We can't let the season peter out and just fade away into being one of them stop-start. I'd rather build some sort of momentum, try and have a go in this Champions League and try and get in this top 4 or even higher. Or just put yourself in a position where if anything does happen, because we've been in that position before when people have slipped and we've been there to take advantage. Can you imagine if we just petered the season out and there was a big collapse at the top and we wasn't there to take advantage of it? We'd kick ourselves. So we just got to do what we need to do, focus on what we need to do. Don't think about who favours we're doing in title races. Just go and beat everyone we can and get these level of performances up and these players up to speed for next season, because everyone, man and his dog, thinks we're finished. So let them think that, because I can assure you that the football club will not let that standard drop. And by the time next season comes around, we'll be in a totally different place, I think.
I feel that as well. Mace, what about you? You more you pessimistic, optimistic?
Realistic, in a sense. I think, like Steve said, it takes some. You know what I'm like, boys. I will still cling on to that 1% chance that something might could happen in the league, but I doubt it.
Liverpool looked good today, to be fair.
Oh yeah. It's the same though, isn't it? We said it. We say it all the time. Like there'll be times when you look at teams and you think they're bang on it, and then there'll be times where they're not. And Liverpool look like that at the minute, but I think, like Steve said as well, focus one game at a time. We went on a little run before PSG, and then you boys were there, so I couldn't even imagine how it felt at that moment. But
we were quite upbeat about it, to be fair, weren't we?
I think that we know what we've been watching the last few months, so we know that we're not that team. So it's not a shock that we've gone 2-0 up and ended up getting beat 4-2. After we've gone up at Sporting Lisbon 1-0, got beat 4-1, gone up at Brentford 2-0, 2-2, gone up 3-0 at Feyenoord, 3-3, gone up at Man United at home, got beat 2-1. So it was just a typical City of this season kicked in. Whereas today, none of that looked evident. You know what I mean? That today looked like an old style performance. You know what I mean? Yeah. Got kicked in the bollocks, came back, put the pressure on, got our noses in front, and instead of having a rocky 10 minutes where you're thinking Chelsea's going to score 2 and we're getting beat 3-2, we put them to bed. And that's why I was more happy with that. And you could see by the players' faces at the end, I seen the tunnel cam of Kanji coming off, giving it the W signs and all that. And I thought, usually we've seen the players walking off, shaking their heads or Pep looking all stressed. Whereas tonight, including the fans out the ground, when you're walking round back to the car, you're seeing people coming towards you. It's like everyone was smiling, which is what we want to keep seeing more of.
I agree. I think we have to remember that, look, we have had a mad season, right? But injuries are a thing. I still believe we do need a DM. And as far as the transfer window, we've got a very important 7 days. I think we'll get one over the line. But we have to also put it into perspective. Even today, no Aki, no Diaz, and Stones couldn't start the game because he's probably still not quite 100%. I'm more meaning defensively. I hear the Doku thing, but if we get Diaz back or Ake back, all of a sudden things will look a lot rosy. I'm pretty confident Diaz's injury will only be a couple of weeks because he wouldn't have been able to play through till half time if it was anything more than that. So yeah, I do think Kuzanov will then push out to the right, but it's a big week. We see who we bring in. You guys are all going to be at the game on Wednesday, I presume.
Yeah. There's we need to. We've got to win it. We put ourselves in a mad position. We know that. I don't think Bruges have lost in about 15, 16 games or something. I was speaking to the Bruges lads that I know, and they're all coming over. A good set of fans. They only need a point to qualify.
Yeah.
You know, whether they stick.
19 unbeaten they're on.
Well, listen. No mugs, and the way the Etihad has been giving out gifts this season, you know what I mean? They're going to fancy the chances, so we've got to be switched on. Yeah. I think it could be a nice night. Like, I feel like it could be one of the nights where we say, "Do you remember Bruges at home?" I know that sounds daft, but that's where we've put ourselves in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember Hamburg that year when we had to go and beat Hamburg, mate, and the roof nearly come off.
Was that when Alano hit the crossbar with the free kick?
Yeah, I can remember it. They wanted
to scored. Yeah. We can get half the atmosphere of that game. That atmosphere at Hamburg bounced.
I always remember that game because I always wonder what would have happened if we would have qualified. Because I always look back, that was our second season in Europe, wasn't it? Was it our second? And I always wonder if maybe we should have, won that before we upgraded to the Champions League. I always think about that game as well. Remember, Alano hit the crossbar with a mint free kick. But by the way, do you not know Marmoush and free kicks is a problem?
Yeah. See, he had that one today, didn't he? But he obviously didn't get over the wall. But he loves a free kick.
The other
do you know what to me, that?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, go on. I was going to say to me, I'm just. Listen, we've had about 2 months. We've not had the best season, but I'm sort of with the new signings and everything. I feel as though we've got to draw a line under it, and like I said, take it a game at a time. I don't want to do this. I know everyone's in a doom and gloom, and they're a bit upset, but we can't keep going on about the summertime. We know the club messed up. The club know that they messed up themselves. They're not silly.
Yeah.
But we've got to move forward. If we can get even just get a Cambiasso in this week. If you can get that deal somehow over the line.
I'll be honest with you. Someone said to me that the Cambiasso thing is for the summer. But the reason we're kind of trying to push for the Cambiasso thing now is because it's part of the negotiations around maybe Douglas Luiz that I don't know. But if we get Cambiasso over the line and we don't manage to get a DM over the line, I'll be honest with you. I'll be a bit frustrated because although I swear Cambiasso, does he play on the left or right? Someone said to me the left earlier.
Both. He plays on both and he can invert into midfield. So that's why I'm okay with Cambiasso, because I've only seen little bits of him at Juventus, but he can invert and do that John Stones role. So maybe that's the backup if Douglas Luiz doesn't happen. I'm pleased they're only looking at that on loan, because I don't want to go down a road, because it's clear the main target they want is not available to the summer.
Yeah.
I think we know that.
I
don't want to put another 40 mil in, 150 grand a week contract, and be stuck with him.
I think there probably is an element also of the fact that because the whole world knows we want a DM, that I think if City go and knock on any club's door and mention we want your DM, then instantly there's probably an extra 20, 30 million put on it because they're just thinking, yeah. And the problem is that's where we are. But I would be frustrated if Steve, would you agree? We do need one still, don't we? We can have games like
we do. We do. It's clear to see, you know what I mean? We've been getting legged a lot. We need fresh legs in there. You've got a couple of problems. A, it's January, big problem because no one wants to let them go. B, you've got a Rodri-sized shadow sat on the bench, waiting to come back, which a lot of players are not going to fancy going up against Rodri. I do feel that they've got to sort of come in between. They're going to either get a stopgap till the summer. So Douglas Luiz on loan would be perfect. You're not risking big dough. and he's got a point to prove. He could come in there and he'd probably be happy to say, you know what, I'll fight with Rodri. You know what I mean? I'll fight with him. Or you go and get a younger one who's got right on. They had that kid from Norway today, that Nipan.
Yeah, I've seen he's being spoken about massively. Hold on, was he there today? Yeah.
Yeah, well, Ornstein said he was going to Arsenal. Fabrizio said he's going to City. So we'll see about that. So I don't know, but I think we're going to do something this week in the transfer market. I mean, Kyle Walker's been let go. Yeah. You know, he's already frolicking around with birds over on the San Siro pitch and eating pasta.
We can say that now, right? We're allowed to say that. Shout, do you know what? A quick one. Shout out to Kyle Walker for the post he put out and everything he said. I wish it was in the summer that he did that. But look, as a club, we convinced him to stay a few more months. But it's nice now that we're over it. We can look back at Kyle Walker with fond memories. If you put it into perspective, Kyle Walker won 17 trophies with us within, what was it? I think 7 years?
7, 8 years, yeah.
I believe Neville won something like 20 in a whole career at Man United. So when you put that into perspective, the guy is a legend for City, and it's nice that there's a line drawn under that now. He's over there getting his thing out in the middle of Milan Fashion Week, and we can move on. But I think we do need to get one more player in for me. Two things, Steve, before we end. Firstly, anyone on for this one?
No.
No, I think we're all right for that.
Mason?
No.
Nunes is the DM, Mason?
Don't talk to me about Nunes.
Okay, cool.
What did he say? Didn't have the glasses.
He said, "Calvin, get Calvin back.
Get Calvin back."
Did you see? Did anybody see?
I'd rather put you in DM.
I don't know why. I don't know why we're not.
Which one of us three? Hold on. Which one of us?
Any one of us.
Did anyone see Echeverria last night?
Yeah, 2 goals, 1 assist. Yeah.
2 assists.
We forget about that. He's with us from February, right?
Yeah, and that's another option as well. You know, he might be very lightweight and raw, but if you've got a game where you may be winning and you've got 20 minutes to go, and you want to bring an headache on for people, bring this young kid on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
is he a fullback? Is he a fullback? I think he is.
With Echeverria?
Yeah.
No, he's a 10.
No, he's a 10.
Is he a 10? I thought he was a fullback. Maybe.
I'll tell you that if he's a fullback, you can't half hit him off the edge of the box like it did last
time. I was thinking 2 goals in this.
One in the top corner.
So we got another 10 here. Jesus.
No,
last one as well, Steve.
Yep.
I don't know if he's being serious or not. You've been making some appearances for Tamworth.
No, that's expressions. That ball guy in midfield for Tamworth, expressions was saying, "Oh, fucking Big Steve" and that. But yeah, man, it's just. But can I just have a quick little mention about the channel? Yeah. Obviously, we've started this channel and we're getting a lot of City content creators on there, and people that probably don't want their own channels, but they want to come on and have a voice, and it's been brilliant. But one thing I want to say about this channel is that the comments and the people that support the channel is so important to us. That we want a good community. Now, anyone can have a difference of opinion if it's constructive. We ain't got a problem with that. But I'm just going to put it out there now. The second anyone gets personal with anyone on the panel or anyone on this channel, then you're just going to be blocked, 100% blocked. And that's not, you're not getting a chance. You're not getting a DM. You're not getting, "Oh, I was pissed." We're not having that on here. You're just getting blocked. So all I suggest is, at the minute, everyone who's been on this channel has been brilliant. The comments, the messages I got at the game today, the proper City fans, and we can have a difference of opinion without calling people names. And some of the channels I have to go on and the abuse I get, and I know Martin's had a bit and Daps has had a bit. There's no need for it. We're here because we're all City fans. We love the club. And if we all have a heated debate about it and we've got different opinion, that's fine. We want that. But as far as personal and bullshit and lies and made up things and blag accounts and all that, there's no tolerance on this channel. I'd rather have 500 subscribers and a great chat every night than fucking 2 million subscribers and 500 bellends ruining it. So that's where I am on it, to be honest.
Spot on, Steve. That took the words right out of my mouth. And the thing is as well, if you have a different opinion to us, right, message us. You can come on the show, right? And we'll talk about it. And I mean, we'll talk about it because you might have an opinion that actually makes me go, "Do you know what? You're spot on." That ultimately, this whole football YouTube is like going to the pub, right? We don't all agree on everything. So if you have a different opinion, don't just get us in the comments. Shout, message us, come on the show. We'll chat about it. We want to speak to Blue.
I just wanted to put it out there early doors because I don't want people saying, "Oh, I got blocked," because the mods that we're making mods are people we know, and that's the level of the line we want to keep it. And there's a reason why this channel has grown 2,000 subscribers in 10 days. It's because
just confirm that, Steve.
It's right. It's going to be right. You know what I mean? And that's how we want to play it.
In fact,
there you go. 2,002 subscribers in what 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days.
Free stream. So we're doing all right. But listen, big thanks to all the Blues.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Martin. He's a legend, and Mason and that for coming on. And just keep supporting us, lads. And anything that you think we can do better, send a DM in, message the Instagram. Let us know what you think. Anything you think we can improve, we'll try it. And it's a platform for everyone to come on. You know what I mean? That's what we want to do.
Yeah. And people, I'm reaching out to a lot of different content creators, trying to get them on. Keep dropping your recommendations. If you speak to them, shout them, say Daps wants to chat with you. We want to get anyone that's a true Blue, we want them on. We want them on. So we can all go to bed happy with a smile. We will have some more content out for you at some point tomorrow and into the week. Big game next. We've got a big show on Tuesday night. Martin's going to be there. Tone's going to be there. Nobbins is going to be there. Myself and Steve are going to be there. Back end of the week, there will also be an Arsenal preview with, I'm sure Steve will be reaching out to some of the Arsenal boys.
I think I could even probably get Robbie on if I needed to. I'm sure he would come on. Let me know. That's an idea. Arsenal preview next week. Give us some names.
Speeches,
Who
Steve.
do you want? Say again.
We can give Robbie a platform to give another speech, one of his epic.
Yeah, he's had enough speeches. But any of the Arsenal boys you want to get on, who do you think we should get on? Turkish Troops, Curtis Shaw, Lee Judges, Robbie Lyle. I don't know.
We could get Lee Gunner.
Can you get Ty?
Yeah.
No.
Ty. Do you know what, Ty? You know what? We Ty, yeah. Ty is a nice guy and a proper football man. And I know sometimes he comes across mental, but you've got to be mental to be invested in your football club and that. And I've had some good conversations with him. And I think sometimes he trolls a little bit. But Ty's a good guy, man. But he starts talking about Arsenal 1935, you're fucked.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing? I heard the funniest thing earlier on, right? I don't know who it was. Someone said that Cole Palmer today was basically Lee Gunner in a Chelsea kit.
Lee Gunner, man. Yeah, Lee Gunner. Lee's wild as well, man.
Yeah.
People, he's like Marmite, but I mean, I get on all right with him. I think he's all right. Yeah, he's crazy, man.
Anyway, listen, we're going to wrap it up here. Blues, keep supporting the channel, keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep watching for more content. City 3, Chelsea 1. We move. Love.